What's going on, everybody? American Football Network here with another video today. And today we're bringing you guys our Arkansas Razorbacks preview and prediction. But before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment those thoughts and opinions down below. Check out our description for links to our shop, podcast, website, Patreon page, and our college football channel. And help us hit that subscriber goal of 1,400 by the end of July. I believe we're 80 away from that. So let's get rolling and hit that goal. Let's jump into the video. Today we got Arkansas up um on our series of doing college football team predictions. We started um June 25th, we put out Bama. The last 2 days we put out Arizona and Arizona State. We're going with new teams all the way to August 18th, and we will have guests for each team or for some of the teams along the way as we go. So we're excited about that. But for Arkansas, they come in this year after going 4-8 last year, 1-7 in the SEC. Their only win coming at Florida in overtime last year, 39-36. Not a very good season for the Razorbacks after a pretty solid last 2 years under Sam Pittman, who had struggled in his first season and really picked it up the next two and struggled again last season. He sits with a 23-25 record at Arkansas. Brings in a new offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino, to help coach that offense for the Razorbacks. And returning defensive coordinator Travis Williams had a great first season with the Razorbacks. They actually dropped their yards per game down to 357, which was 108 yards less than it was the year before that. And the passing yards allowed also came down by 92 from an NCAA worst 294.7. So defense really improved last season, and they bring back the big dog Landon Jackson on that defensive line. Also, Eric Gregory returns. He's poised for another big year as well. And you look at Cameron Ball coming in, the other defensive tackle. Expect a big, solid season out of him as well. And then when you look in the secondary, pretty solid secondary for Arkansas this year. You return Jaden Johnson and Hudson Clark at safety. At cornerback, Jalen Braxton, he's my potential breakout player for Arkansas this year. I think that he is. I think that he's going to be a very, very good player this year for the Razorbacks. Expect big things out of him. When you look offensively, they bring back Andrew Armstrong, the wide receiver. He's set to have a pretty solid season, I would imagine. Also, um, also bringing back Rashad Dubiny. I can't even say his last name. Dubinion. You bring him back at running back. He's going to be a pretty solid threat for you. But the biggest thing for Arkansas and the biggest struggles for them offensively last year were on the offensive line. They returned two starters in Patrick Kudus and Joshua Braun. Also add in there three transfers, Keyshawn Blackstock, Fernando Carmona, and Addison Nichols. So that'll be big as they really got to get that offensive line straight back up. That's what really hurt them last season offensively. They never could get a good offensive line game plan set and just get good play from all five guys for a complete game, really, in any of the good teams that they face. But when you look at them this season, the schedule is honestly not any better than it was last season. In fact, probably worse than it was last season. But when you look on the bright side for Arkansas, they do bring in Taylon Green, a new change at quarterback from KJ Jefferson, a new skill set to work with. Green, still a dual threat quarterback, a little bit more um, of a quickness guy than a power guy like Jefferson was. But the big problem with Green is he sits at 59.4% completion rate for his career. I mean, the dude is a great talent, but he just hasn't been able to put it all together. We'll see if Bobby Petrino can get it all put together for him. Because if he can, Arkansas is going to have a really good quarterback. The problem is that Taylon Green has never had it all together in his career. Um, so that'll be something to watch for. But let's jump into the schedule and see what I have them going this year. Start off week one, you get Arkansas Pine Bluff. I have this game as a win. Don't really think that that one's up for debate. It's the Pine Bluff, Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're not going to be able to compete with Arkansas. They just don't have the talent or the bodies to do it. Week two, you go on the road to Oklahoma State. This is going to be a tough game, and it's one that I think you lose. I think you can be a little bit competitive in this game. Oklahoma State does tend to start seasons out a little bit slower. And then we got the news going on with Ollie Gordon. Not really sure what's going to happen with that, with the DUI charges or whatever they've got going on. I haven't really dove too much into it, but you got that going on. So who knows? Maybe you can beat Oklahoma State, but I have this game as a loss. It's going to be tough on the road in Stillwater, um, especially when Oklahoma State is. I mean, they're coming off a really good year last year, made it to the Big 12 championship where they lost to Texas, but a very strong season for the Cowboys last year. It's going to be tough to beat them. I expect them to be a pretty good team this year. Again, I just don't know if Arkansas has what it takes to beat the Cowboys. Then you get UAB at home. I have this game as a win. I think that the Blazers, just similar to Arkansas Pine Bluff, they just don't have what it takes to physically compete with a team like Arkansas. Now UAB could surprise a few people, but I don't think they're going to be very good this year. It's possible that they could. They have a lot of stuff that they have to get straightened out over the spring and summer and fall ball before I see them taking down Arkansas. But if Arkansas isn't coming out of the gates playing really well, this game could end up being closer. But it's one that I think Arkansas will win, and I expect them to win it pretty handily. Then you go on the road to Auburn. This is going to be a tricky game for you to win. Last year they beat you 48-10 at home, and this year I don't think it gets any better. I think that you go on the road to Jordan Hare and lose that one. I think Auburn's just a better football team. I think they've got more talent. They've got more playmakers on both sides of the football, and they've got a better head coach. I think that the Auburn Tigers will get the win on for this one. Then you have the Southwest Classic in, let's see, Arlington. Yeah, in Arlington. Um, I can't remember if it was Houston. I mean Dallas or Arlington, but yeah, it's in Arlington, and this is a game that I don't see going in your favor. You lost this game last year, 34-22. I think you lose it again this year. I think Texas A&M just has a little bit more talent. I think they do have the better head coach in Elko. And I'm excited to see what he ends up doing with that Texas A&M program. But I do think that A&M is better. I think they have the better quarterback in Connor Weigman. I think they have better playmakers on the outside. I think they have the better defense in this game. I think Texas A&M wins it, but I don't see them blowing you out. I think about what it was last year, 34-22. I think somewhere around there is how this game will end, but not in Arkansas's favor. Then you get Tennessee at home. Good luck in this one. You're going to get boat raced. It's I don't see this being a fun game for Arkansas fans. I think Tennessee wins big. Then you get a bye week, and then you get LSU at home. That bye week could help, but I just don't know how much it's going to do for you. Now, last year you actually played LSU really close. Only lost by 3, 34-31 on the road. But I see you losing this game again this year. I just don't. I don't think Arkansas is going to be able to pull off the win. I think that the Tigers will come out on top. Just think that once again, like it has been with some of these other teams, better coaching, better quarterback, better playmakers, and more better just guys who make plays defensively for you and just stop the ball. Um, I think LSU just has too much talent for Arkansas. But upsets happen. You can always hope upsets happen, but I think LSU gets the win. Then you go on the road to Mississippi State, and here's an SEC win for you. I have you beat Mississippi State. Now you lost to them last year at home, and maybe one of the ugliest games of football between two Power Five schools, as you lost 7-3. Not a not a very fun not a very fun game to watch, not a very entertaining game to watch. But I think this year you come out on top. I think you beat them. Mississippi State's just in a mess. I like Taylor Green. I think by this point in the season, he should be he should be um, good and in sync with the offense. We'll see, but I do think that he will be in stride by this point in the season. I think that whole team will. It better be. And I think Mississippi State is a team more on Arkansas's level, a team that Arkansas has a better chance of beating. And I think they will. I think they will knock off the Bulldogs in this one. Then you get Ole Miss at home. This is a loss. Ole Miss just way too much offense for Arkansas. Arkansas will score some points in this one for sure. Um, they'll score some points, and this is again another. Arkansas played so many close games last year. This is again another team that they lost close to last year on the road 27-20, but I think he loses this game again. But just looking back last year, they lose to BYU at home 38-31, lost at LSU the next week 34-31. Then against A&M, you lost 34-22. You lost by 12 in that one. But then you go on the road to Ole Miss, you lose by 7. On the road at Alabama, you lose by 3, 24-21. You get Mississippi State at home, you lose 7-3. It is like, man, they just played so many close. I mean, even the game that they won against Florida, they won in overtime 39-36. It was like, man, just a just a long stretch of just close games that all of them but one didn't go in your favor. But I don't see this game here being close. I think Ole Miss just absolutely blows them out of the water. And this one just way too much offense. Jackson Dart gonna light up that secondary for Arkansas. They're gonna run the ball all over them. I just I don't see a way for Arkansas to win this football game. But like I said, upsets happen as possible. But I'm taking the Rebels in this one. Then you get a bye week. Then you face Texas. Good luck in that one. Your stretch of tough games continues as you'll lose this game too. Quinn Ewers and that offense just going to be too much. And Texas has a pretty solid defense coming back as well. I expect a big day from them. And this one, I don't think Arkansas has the talent. Then you get Louisiana Tech. You'll win this football game. Louisiana Tech is not a very good team, and they're going to finish towards the bottom in their home conference. So I think Arkansas has this one as a win. Then you go on the road to Missouri. Yet again, another loss. Just don't see, just don't see a way for Arkansas to win this game. Brady Cook is just going to tear that Arkansas defense up. I don't know how Arkansas is going to stop them, and honestly, I don't know how Arkansas's offense is going to do it in this game either. Missouri has a pretty solid defense, um, so I think it's going to be another rough season for Arkansas. I have them going 4-8 overall. Just I don't see very many wins on the schedule for them. To be completely honest, I don't see a whole lot of winnable games on here for them. But you never know. There's always some surprise teams out there. Maybe that's Arkansas this year. But I appreciate all you guys watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment those thoughts and opinions down below, and we will see you guys tomorrow.